The saga continues. We're returning to the part 2 video on this, I think it's an 07 Toyota Sequoia. It's equipped with a 4.7 liter Toyota V8. And we've got this thing torn down to the bare bones for a timing belt replacement. It was a maintenance job based on mileage. While we were in there, we had found in the first video that the water pump was leaking everywhere. So we've got the pump pulled off of it. The front of the block is cleaned up. And today we're going to begin reassembly of our water pump and timing belt system on this Toyota 4.7 liter. So stay tuned. This is going to be a very good part 2 video. Okay, we've got our O-ring kit and looks like the water pump gasket. Now the seal area at the pump has been tidied up. Let's figure out which orientation this is supposed to go in. Not off to a good start, I don't think. Why? Yeah. Oh, that's what I needed. The big one, that big stud is part of the water pump bolts as well. Okay, slide that guy on. We've got a little O-ring right here. I'm assuming that's going to be this one there. So let's get that thing plucked off and replaced. Yeah, my big fat flanges aren't going to fit in there, so we'll use a small little pick tool to help us get a hold of that guy and just kind of peel it right out. There we go. And the new one, we'll just slide that right over the tube. Begin sliding. There you go. Put some coolant on there for lubrication later on. Very good. All right, so the new pump's coming in. We're looking at the back of the pump right here. Here's the impeller, which actually drives our coolant. We need to make sure that that tube ends up inside of this hole as we mount this pump flush to the block here. So let's get it started. It should just go and pop right in, easy peasy, no problem. As long as I get this little wire out of the way. There we go. Kind of wiggle it. I think we're good. It's sitting flush. I'm good with that. So we'll take the bolts that I stuck back in the old pump for location reference. We'll get these guys started. Two over here on the left flank. There we go. Goes there. This one just above it. Tight squeeze in there. And that one down there under that sensor. Wonderful. And we cannot forget the little nut that goes right down there on that stud. All right. Let's go ahead and torque these down a little bit. 12 millimeters. Click. These ones I'll run them down by hand and just get them with a wrench. The stud's too long to fit a socket on there. Go. 12 millimeter. It's too long. Let's use the shorter one here. There we go. A little bit more. There. Beautiful. Okay, I unboxed a couple of the new pulleys. There's our new tensioner. Got the fulcrum bearing bolt on there and the washer. This guy bolts on right there. It's a threaded hole in the front of the oil pump. Start this guy. Begin threading in now. There we go. Let's go ahead and run the bolt down. Very good. Do some torquing by hand because I don't trust 90-degree impacts. That's good. Okay, off to the right a little bit, we've got the other idler pulley. There's the fastener. That one, I believe, bolts on right here. Oh, I forgot one of the water pump bolts. I see it. Error. It was hiding. That could have been bad. Clickage. There. Okay. Crisis averted. Shiny. Clickage. And after we tighten things down, I always check for function, make sure that they're working. Those are good. All right, next it's the time bomb. This right here is the hydraulic tensioner. Got a push rod in there, it's under pressure inside. It's also spring loaded, I believe. This guy is gonna act on this area right here of this lever and push up against that pulley to maintain tension on the belt. So we're not gonna pull this pin out just yet. This is the grenade pin right here. Once we pull that pin out, the push rod is released. So all we need to do at this point is set this tensioner in position. And I can see there's the hole right there for one of the bolts. I'm looking down trying to line this up. Once we get this thing lined up, I'll put the 2 bolts in. But it doesn't want to be lined up. Odd. Yeah, it's a little bit canted off to the side. We'll start the bolts first, I guess. I think it's this rubber thing. It's not straight. It's a little bit off to the right. You guys see that? You straighten that out. I see the problem. See how that's a little sideways? Watch. The grenade pin thing is bent a little bit. So if I turn it, see what it's doing? Need to keep that centered just like that. That was my issue. Details. See, taking a step back instead of just sending these in with an impact gun. That's the play here. You gotta be gentle. Gotta ease it in there, especially at first. Click. A little bit more. Okay, so tensioner's in place. That guy hangs out right there. Now, let's get the belt set up. All right, this is weird. So this ice and belt kit for a Toyota has a Mitsubishi belt on it, or Mitsubishi? Boshi? They tricked me. Look, Mitsubishi. They tricked me. Made in the USA. Okay, that's weird. I thought it was a Mitsubishi at first glance. Corporate branding treachery. Well, anyway, this belt is labeled. We've got a mark for left cam. There's a mark here for the right cam, and there's another one down there for the crankshaft right at the bottom. So here's our right cam right here. Remember, we put some paint marks on it the other day, so we will set that mark up right there on the rib with the paint marks, and that will be our starting point. Run this down under the water pump pulley, and then on the right side we'll mark up the left cam. You can see we'll line up left cam with its dots. Push that back under. felt gravity. Left cam again. Oh good, they line up. Wonderful. Dot. We're a tooth off on this. But that's okay. Just pick it up, pull it, set it back down. There we go. Stay. Okay, so you can see we're lined up right here on our marks. We're lined up here on our marks. I actually took that tensioner a little loose and dropped it down some to allow this pulley to slack off. Now we're getting close down here on the crank. Let's get down there. We're getting real close down here. We see how we have some slack, and there's some slack right here. Now we know that these are splined in the correct position. So what I want to do, since I can't really get that I can't pull this tight enough on this tension side to get that slack out, what I'm going to do is we're going to grab the front of this crank. We're going to turn that crank backwards and catch the next tooth. See that? So we caught the next tooth. I have to hold that. Let me hang you guys up right here. So I moved the crank, caught the tooth. Now I'm going to hold this on the crank and we're going to advance the crankshaft, pulling on the belt. See that? So what I've done is I've created the tension on this side where it needs to be. There we go. Slide that over. It's almost on all the way. Just wiggle it a little bit while I push. And I'm ending up under tension again. Okay, so let's check our timing. I think I moved the cams a little. I did. So we'll bring this back. Okay, and then I'll rotate it forward again to bring it back into alignment. Remember, we got to have tension on the tension side. Now that we're back in alignment here with our marks, we come down, check our marks on our crank. Those are correct. This engine is now in time. So real quick, I need to look at the bottom of the crank pulley with a mirror and check the alignment dot with the other mark that's on the belt. And once that's confirmed, we're good to go. All right, mirror time. Mirror, mirror on a stick. Yada, yada. I can't make something rhyme with stick. But there is, hope you guys see this down here. I'll try to zoom it in later. We've got, see that little yellow dot on the front of the crank, right there at the gear? That little yellow dot has to line up with that white mark that says CR that's on the belt. And that dot is in fact lining up. You guys see it? So, the marks are accurate at the crank. Our little dot that we put in right there, those are lined up. This mark is correct, and that mark is correct. I tightened down the bolts here on the tensioner again, so we do have a little bit of tension, but it is now time to pull the pin, and it is always anticlimactic. That's it. So we now have pressure being acted on this this pulley right here. That is a setup and ready to rock and roll timing belt. Recover the crankshaft bolt out of the front of the crank next. A little quick clickage action. Because here's the critical part. That's our little pickup for crankshaft position sensor. Slide this thing over the woodruff key there, and you can't get it backwards because it's concave in shape, and if you have it backwards it'll touch the belt. Here, let me show you. Try to flip it around, and it is not gonna fit. Yeah, see how it's running into the belt? No bueno. So little details will get you. That goes right there. Okay, the lower cover I think can go on next. It's gonna hang out like so. There's 4 bolts for it. I know we can't see any of them, but I can feel them. There's one that goes in there. One over here on the left somewhere. Yep, can't see it, gotta feel it. Should be one more at the bottom, yeah. Feel the hole. Right here. Okay, those guys are all started, except for this one in the middle. That one's now started. Good to go. Click. Very good. Okay, let's get the serpentine belt tensioner slid in position. I believe it's gonna go about like so. Yeah, it goes like that. One long bolt for down right there. And the other long bolt, I think, goes right next to it. No, it does not go in there. That one goes to something else. AC compressor. We got one bolt in. One bolt, looks like 2 nuts. Get those guys on real quick like. Second one. I'm ahead of myself. This doesn't go in yet because that's one of the bolts for this alternator that I can hang on the stud right here one more time. Put that back. Yes. That's what goes there. Okay, got a bottom nader bolt in. I forgot this stud right here, so I had to pull that alternator off and put the stud in. Did that when you guys weren't looking. So we got a nut right here, bottom bolt in, smaller nut right here. So this will effectively finish the alternator installation. Let's find, where's my 14? Right here. Get the bottom one first because it's farthest away. Make it go the right direction. That's the start. I wondered what just fell out. Chinesium tools. Maybe that's why you buy the snap-on one or something. Not sponsored. But I never broke my snap-on one. This one died. No matter. Click. That happened fast. Oops. Very good. So that's going to be our tensioner and alternator, and there's one bolt that goes inside of that hole, and I think it's this one. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Time to do it all again. I wonder how many times I'm going to take this alternator out. This is the third one, I think. Ah! Do it again. Nothing faster than technicians doing things multiple times. Getting them to do it the first time, that's the hard part, but doing it a second time, yeah, we can get through some stuff. Yeah. Let's try this again. I knew that hole was there too. I knew it. I just knew it. Leakage. There. Crisis averted. Again. There. Bottom bolt again. Thread you. There it goes. Ow. No, you don't. That's my balls falling out again. There we go. Repeat. Okay, let's mount the power steering pump back on. We've got 2 bolts, 1 stud. Gotta put the bolt through the front of the pulley. We'll do this one first. It's the easiest one that I can see the hole right here. Hold that up. Get it started. There we go. Ding. Okay. Then the bottom one. Okay. Then there's a stud. Don't know why there's a stud, but they chose a stud for this top one. Thread that guy in. There we go. All right, let's put that stud in all the way. We've got an E-Torx here, inverted star bit that just slides over. We don't have to torque this. We just run it down until it stops, and even that was tighter than it actually has to be. Where's my nut? I got a nut that goes in there. There's my nut. I found it. So now we'll just thread that little guy on like so. I'm enjoying the assembly of this much more than the disassembly. I don't know why. It's usually the other way around. I prefer taking them off and not putting them on. Okay, let's get our fan clutch bearing bracket assembly. Figured out the name of this, kind of. Let's get this thing mocked up in position here. It's gonna slide just like so. Looks like we're sort of flush. Am I pinching a wire in there? I think. Nah, that looks good. Ooh, flashlight. What's this problem? I think that cable was in the way. Okay. There. So that guy is on, nice and flush like. Let's get the fasteners in this unit. After that's bolted on, we'll hang the compressor. Okay. Little bolts. We got one big one. That's going to go down there in the bottom. Yep. Then I think that nut goes right there. That one does not go right there. Okay. That's because it's that one. That is the nut that I need. There we go. And then we have a cover. This nut comes out because this cover goes in that position, I think. Yes. That one goes in there. Yeah, now we're cooking, I think. Good. Nice and flush. It's all good. Very nice. I suppose I should put this crankshaft pulley back in position at some point, and I guess that point should be like right about now. So let's slide it on and find the key. There's the Woodruff key. Found it. Kind of tap that in a little bit. Ding. Look at that. Timing marks lined right up. 0 with a notch. It's fantastic. Put the crank bolt in. It's at least 3 turns of thread engagement. That's going in perfectly. Good. Click. Now, I always make sure that everything's going to turn. Yep. Go back the other way real quick. Back to 0. Everything moved. I was just checking to make sure nothing was smashed or binding, preventing free rotation of everything. So when I put that pulley back on, that was the last of the moving parts. Just moved it with a ratchet just to make sure everything was looking good. There's nothing worse than putting this back together and you find out you've got one of the covers on wrong and it's like rubbing on stuff and making horrendous noise. Then you got to tear it all down and do it again, and that would be bad. Okay, laterally transitioning over here to this side a little bit. Let's get this compressor hung up on this little bracket thing. You guys remember first video, I took it apart and I couldn't get the compressor to come down. This little panel was hanging off of this little nipple looking deal right here. So we're just gonna pick it back up and hang it right where we found it the first time. Put it right there. Yes. And that's how it was fastened or whatever. Let's plug this thing in while we're here. That's good. Okay, one bolt here, that's gonna go in this way and attach into this bracket here. Find the hole. We'll have to get the other ones from the bottom. I believe it's in the back, way over yonder. That one there's good. I like it. Let's make 2 of those tight real quick. Tighten that one. And this one. There we go. You know, I really don't want to lift the car up right now. So I think instead, I'm just going to put some more covers on the top and we'll do that compressor last. I'm just not in the mood to lift it up and then send it back down, then do it again. We'll just do that later. Putting the grommet in for this little sensor. Remember the wire came through this cover. Slide this unit back together. That's good. Yeah, I think we're 4 bolts and 1 nut to go. And that other one down here where nobody can see it, but we can feel it. All right. Bottom one, and there's a nut that goes here. I'll get that in a minute. I found it. Little acorn looking castle nut thing right there. There, got that one. And let's go ahead and do the cover on the other side next. Move it on over here. Is there a little tab on this one? No, there was a locking tab on that other one. You have to slide it in first. This one is devoid of said tab. Goes down. There we go. Those other ones at on the bottom. Yeah, I see one right there. That means the other one, the fourth one, right here. Third one. And the nut. Very good. Ding. Now, last one. Can't see it again. Yay! Got it. Okay, so cover's on, cover's on. We're missing some pulleys here. One pulley there. And some electronical connections. Might as well plug these guys in right now. And then immediately unplug them, because I've got the order wrong. That was silly. Good job, Ray. Oh! Seriously? Come on, man. Seriously? I can't take the connector off. Let's use a tool. Let's use the wrong tool to help us. There. There's actually a tool for those connectors. Let's put this over here. Then we can put that in there in that little bracket. Then put this right here. There we go. Now I'm figuring out what I'm trying to do here. That one goes there. This one goes in there, in the cover. Same thing with this one down here. There's a hole in the cover. We snap it in. You guys are upside down, sorry. That one goes there. And then I believe the connector right in front of us, this one, it's gonna plug in there, right? Little tab business goes in, and this guy plugs into the cover right there. All right, mint, absolutely mint. We have a coolant hose which plugs into a little guy down there that's going to bolt to the cover with that bracket. Put that back. Need to take off that 10 mil right there because there's a bracket on this line. Laura, is that you over there near me?
Lurking.
You're lurking? What are you doing? You need something?
No. Just get some fresh air.
Oh, fresh air out here?
Fresh air.
Uh-huh. So you're getting away from the kids then? Yeah?
Yeah. Take a breather.
Getting away from the kids. Right on. It's like I know the code. Fresh air. Sure. I'm gonna plug this in later. It goes right there to the throttle body. I'll do that later because we have to get the thermostat housing business set up over there. We need one 10 mil bolt down here to fasten that pipe to this cover. Let's see if I can't reach it. Ding, 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 ding. Got it. ding. And we must not forget the clamp on the hose. Let's see if I can figure this out here. No, not with those pliers I can't. Okay. We'll try the angulars to get the correct angle. There we go. Beautiful. Clamp is on. Put the water pump pulley back in position. That's good. Looking left a little bit. We've got the tensioner pulley. Left-handed thread. I think that's the right side. Yeah. That's tensioner pulley and idler pulley. It's going to go right there front and center, and it is not left-handed thread. Clicks. That one's good. Reverse operation. Pulley's tight. Excellent. Okay, now let's toss the thermostat housing back on. We've got a new O-ring with some lube on it, and I ugly put some RTV on there. We're a little excessive on it, but I don't want to do this twice. So I do have a gasket for this, but there's a groove in that for RTV. So I'm assuming the gasket is if you don't want to use RTV, but I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna put silicone on it and send it. So now with that hose in, tell me I've got the clamp here. I do. Push this guy in. I think it's seated. Now it is. Flashlight. Yep, that's in there. And now, 2 bolts. Yeah, we got a little baby one right there, and a little bigger one right here. Let's get them started. Wrong side. I think that's pretty good. Just make sure that all the tension's, yeah, look at that, see? Yeah, it moved. Yep. See if it moved again. Nope, that's fully seated. Let's get our little clamp on that hose there, and then this is mostly all good. Stick the thermostat back in it. That's actually a new one. Stick it in. No, we won't. Leave it there. Stay there. Pliers for these hose clamps. Come on! What is it? I knew that was a stupid idea. There we go. Hose clamp, all good. And thermostat, all good. 2.0. So before we put the fan on, I'm gonna go ahead and route the belt, because if you guys remember in that first video, I had a hard time getting the belt off the bottom of the crank pulley over here. So we're just gonna loosely fit this belt, kind of get it in position a little bit, especially around the crank at the bottom. I realize the compressor is also loose. belt gravity. That should be good for right now. There we go. There, all right, with the belt sort of in position, we'll come in here and stick the fan back on. We'll get the nuts for the fan threaded onto said fan. That was kind of a pain in the badoosie, getting these guys out. It's close quarters combat in there. Not my favorite fan clutch design style slash profile. I prefer the ones with just the big nut that's actually integrated into the clutch. Those are a little easier. Okay. And the last one. Okay, black subscribe button. I have no option now. I've got to put the AC compressor on all the way. So let's run this back in the air real quick. Bolt the compressor down, then we'll put the belt back on all the way with the tensioner, then tighten down the belt, or I'm sorry, the words I forgot. Fan clutch. Then we'll tighten down the fan clutch. There we go. That's good. At the top, on the locks, nice and safe. Let's get that compressor on. Doo-dah, doo-dah. We have a pinch wire. There we go. Oh, the doo-dah day. Okay, we've got the lower bracket on with the 2 bolts. Or 1 bolt and 1 nut that's not on there yet. Upper bolts at the top. We put that in earlier. Got the wiring harness out of the way. See it right there in front of that bracket. Maybe you can't. It's right here. And then that one in the back. I don't know if I can get that one with this gun. Nope. We need the ratchetet. The electric ratchetet. Oh no, I need my swivel that broke. Scheisse. That's German. Tighten that one by hand. I think that's how I took it off also. Oh yeah, I have the big snap-on ratchet in there. That's right. Yeah, there we go. That hurt. Make sure that's tight. Good. While we're down here, we can put the belt on. I got access to the tensioner right here. I think. Yep. Pull the belt down. Untension. Slide it over the nadir. Let her go. That's good. That's real good. Here's the better view of the installed timing belt tensioner right there. So this is kind of dangerous because the uninitiated might need to take that off. Let's say someone wants to change an alternator and they think that's in their way. They take that thing out, ping! Now you've just lost tension on your timing belt, and that could cause you problems that you did not know were possible. So be careful when taking things off your car. Okay, she's back on the ground. We're at the top side again, and I have the fan clutch fasteners all fastened and torqued down. The belt is on, running straight. We've got the compressor bolted together. Let's put the thermostat back in it again. Keeps falling out. And we'll set this guy on, get the housing on there, and then bolt the T-stat in position. Gotcha. A couple fasteners, nuts to be precise. Three in total. Of course, there's always the one you can't see. You know it's there, but you can't see it. There we go. It's a miracle if I can get a hold of that fastener from here. And that's a miracle. All right. Very good. Okay, thermostat is installed in position. So now this hose can go back on, plug that guy in. Needle noses. Just like so, right there. Excellent. Let's drop the air filter back in. We'll sort of set this up. That has to stay off for now because we have to get the fan in position. And we're getting close. Getting much more closer. That hose goes there. This hose goes here. Another hose goes there. I gotta find that one. It's around here somewhere. Fan shroud. Let's drop this guy down inside of its position slash home right here. Got a hose that plugs in there. A couple bolts for the shroud. 4 on each, or I'm sorry, 4 total, 2 on each side. That was good. Bottom one, way down there. I've already done the engine oil change and filter replacement, so no sneaky oil changes today. Not doing that. I like to sneak an oil change in on you guys every now and then, but today's not the day. We're trying to get completed. I've got a Dodge outside that I need to check for a noise on. And guys, really wanting me to get the car in. There we go. Okay, that was tight. Yeah, the fellow with the Dodge, he's called a few times today and yesterday, and I'm just not getting his car in yet. I'm doing this. But you guys gotta understand, if you keep calling, it's not gonna make it happen any faster. In fact, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's excessive pressure to perform, and some people, they don't perform to their highest when under pressure. Stress affects performance. Some people thrive on stress and some fold. But how's this go? Which way did it go? Goes here, like so. Okay. Yeah, some people, they perform flawlessly under stress, and others, they fold like an accordion. Personally, I've experienced enough trauma in my life where when I experience stress, I tend to go into overachiever mode, and I try to conquer the world. However, I've learned that in automotive land, if you do that, you're opening yourself up to make a mistake, so I don't react to stress. I do well under it, but I don't react to it anymore. I used to react emotionally to stress, and that is that's not how you're supposed to do that. In fact, I don't react emotionally to almost anything, really. Facts over feelings, they say. I like facts. Okay, so this clamp has locked itself in. You see that little tab thing sticking out right there? It's hooked into this one here, so I need to unhook it. So take some clamps here. There we go. You just squeeze it and then it'll pop out. Now I can adjust this properly. Right there. I realigned it with the indentation marks in the rubber for a proper seal. Okay, a little bit of pouring things here. Adding some Toyota pink coolant to the radiator. It's got oil in it. We'll top this thing off and then hit the airbox next. Glug, glug. It's funny how it's pink here and then orange here. Weird. Okay, let's get this airbox business kind of fitted back into position here. Clamps on over here so the lid stays. 4 clamps. That guy goes there. And this thing, it's gonna bolt on, I guess, right there to the airbox. Okay. Out back, PCV hose. And this little guy. Get on there, little guy. There. That little guy gets plugged in right here. Here, here, and here. That goes here. $2, fill that up. Okay. I missed one. This one right here. Vacuum leaks everywhere. Toyota's emission system. All right. Okay, so we're out of nuts and bolts, which means I've lost one bolt, which goes in here, so I have to find it. We'll put the cover on and ignore it until we're fresh out of pieces, then we'll find it. It's a highly effective method. Just go ahead and skip past it. I-force. It says so right there. That's good. Good, good, good. Let's put some electrons. Actually, I need to clean this up. I just don't have it in me to put battery terminals back on a dirty battery. Here we go. This is what we were chatting about yesterday in the live stream, these little guys. Battery terminal service tools. You got a wire brush inside of a little tube there, and then on the other end of it, the male side, let's get this apart. Ow! It's got another wire brush for the female side of your terminals. Super, super duper common tool. Highly underutilized in the professional market. Make it nice and shiny. And you only turn these one way. If you try to go back and forth, the bristles will fold up and it will damage the tool, rendering it ineffective. You can go different directions with this side, but not this side. Nice and shiny. Very good. Positive one. There we go. Negative one. Let's make it tight. Good and good. Yeah, I've got a fastener for this little AC line right here. And I've also installed the fan shroud at the bottom. So, I think it's moment of truth time. I believe we're ready to fire this thing up and check it for instant destruction on startup. Hey Lauren.
Yes.
Do you want to do the honors?
Yes.
If I didn't do this job right, it's going to destroy this engine as soon as you hit the key. Are you ready for that kind of responsibility?
Yes.
You sure? All right, do us the honors. We're going to stand here and watch. You fire it up. See what happens. Fingers crossed, boys. Think it's going to work? Probably not. Probably not. Careful. Your phone is shiny and sparkly.
It's very glittery.
Shininess. She likes shiny things. Okay. You ready?
Ready?
Okay, go ahead. What is that? Oh. It didn't work on her. All right. Oh, it's running. Power steering noise. Hey, will you shut it down real quick? Yeah, we gotta put some power steering fluid in it. Oh yeah, I forgot. Dave put a steering gear in this thing. Got a rack and pinion we installed. That's where the fluid went. Just give it a little bit more here. Thought I heard something weird out of that. Meanwhile, I'm playing engine knocking jokes on my wife. Hey Laura, are you still in there, darling? You still in there? All right. 2.0, fire it up again. Pouring things. Will you turn the wheel left and right a couple times? Now go all the way. Go all the way. Go that way. Man, that pump's loud. It'll shut up. As soon as all those air bubbles start popping out of it, it'll shut up. All right, you're good. Just leave it straight. Let it run. Yeah, that's straight. Okay. How's, no, let it run. Got oil pressure in there?
Yes.
Probably, hopefully. Yeah, we do. It has oil pressure. Okay, good to go. All right, guys, well, as soon as this thing stops making that whiny noise and we get over the alignment rack, this one is good to go. So I got a truck I need to get inside ASAP, so I'm gonna close this one out a little bit short. Dave's gonna do a wheel alignment on this. We gotta put coolant in it the rest of the way, test drive it, and this one's ready to rock and roll. So this is a job well done. Vehicle is complete. I have nothing more to offer you at this point other than a thank you guys for watching this video. As always, let us know what you think about it in the comment section down below. Do not forget to engage that like and subscribe button while you're down there. Turn on the notification bell if you want to see more of my content with Lauren in it. And most importantly,
oh goodness. Okay.
Have a great day, guys. See you later in a video, in a day, in a transmission.
Okay.
Power steering. Honks for safety. Good job.
Thanks.
Good job.
Gotta make sure the kids are back.
Yeah, huh? 1,000 billion, cajillion percentages. Of course, I don't think they're out here, otherwise we would have heard them